Hey, listen, man.
Try this.
Let
Tell
me
children
explain
to notice
something
the
to you,
odd
right?
ways they are
You
different from
see,
others.
let me explain
Tell
something
them
to you. You
that
ever
different
had
ways they are
animals around?
different.
Like, I'm in the north, high north.
How
There's not even
recognize
supposed to be
differences and
animals in my social
celebrate to
economic
make it
system, right?
easier to work together. Parents, caregivers, and teachers can ensure that social and emotional learning is part of a child's overall health and well-being. To find out more, visit First Book at firstbook.org/SEL. First Book is a nonprofit organization providing all children with equal access to the books and resources they need to succeed. This closed captioning sponsorship is brought to you by Bush's has a secret family recipe for baked beans. No way. That's not our only secret. Savory black beans, hearty pinto beans, flavorful chili beans, Bush's beans, and beans, and beans. Right, Dougie. Charlie Schultz is about to get a taste of his own medicine. Oh, yeah? I'm working on my own comic strip based on his life.
Listen, let me explain something to you, right? If you have people, listen, let me explain something to you real quick because I gotta really explain something to my wife because sometimes when she be like, if certain people become ignorant a certain type of way, I gotta wisen her intellect at a time because there's no excuse before but when it comes to love a certain type of way, right? I'm gonna just say just like this. I'm high up in the north. There's not supposed to be wild animals that cause wild conduct. You ever see a dog has a tail, right? The dog wags its tail because it's learning it is balancing its natural habitation of its antenna of its senses going forward. Sometimes people cut the dog's tail. I don't cut the dog's tail because regardless of what, it still has censorship going forward for certain conduct. Now, a person that cuts his dog's tail wants his dog to be fully blown out wild and doesn't want his dog to care about certain things. Those are people that's preparing for New World Order and getting rid of the hierarchy of order at a time, or as people manipulate. Say if they cut the tail to a distance, it's people manipulating to a certain point or certain things that's happening. But I'm gonna just tell you just like this, you know if a person cuts a tail to acknowledgement of the reason of habitation, then something's wrong because you're taking away the natural habitation of an individual's conduct a certain type of way when they're conducting their natural form of their reality of their intellect a certain type of way when they of their natural conduct of their natural current. Now let me show you something. I'm all the way up north. There's not supposed to be wild animals stationed up north. Like right now the guy has, you listen, there's people with dogs around here. There's not even supposed to be dogs. There's people with cats around here. There's not even supposed to be cats. Sometimes in certain seasons, not even supposed to be birds. Now, if you have like some type of habitation when it comes to one's natural intellect is different for other individuals. But this individual over there, around here has dogs. When we're in a natural conduct of a high atmosphere of altitude. Now, if a person has a dog that's causing wild, you ever heard that you sleep at night and then the dog's causing wild emotions or vibrational patterns a certain type of way because it's already causing its natural wild emotions of the physical reality. So if it's doing that, it's just like a person doing magic. Now, a person that does magic can't really, their habitation has to be real high. They can't have a dog a certain type of way because if they have a dog, it could cause their habitation to be lowered, and then it could cause real wild and excessive intentions for individuals to be demoralized in their physical reality, and it causes the individual to be a form of carelessness when it comes to their cleanliness and their habitation, and then it'll cause wild emotions. Now, up in the high north, if my wife was doing magic, my wife can't have dogs a certain type of way in her natural habitation. If she has dogs and she puts them away further a certain type of way, it's showing that she's handling her emotions. But if she has dogs right in the habitation of her point of her reality of her intellect, of a reason of her habitation, that's causing my wife this to literally. That's like killing my wife. That's like my wife and me wouldn't. we wouldn't want funny situations to happen between me and her. So if she's going towards primitive wild emotions on a high level, then that means me and her can't be in a house together, because the fact is, that's a person that's, guys, is gonna have uncontrollable emotions, and is gonna cause the wrong type of habitation in the physical reality. And then when one is, if I'm somewhere at a certain time, and then her intellect, or her natural habitation of her current, her reality of the paradigm kicks in, of her emotions, it'll cause interference with things that's naturally being, equality of high intellectual habitation. So it'll look out of place. It's just like arguing with somebody, and then they're making it seem like they're out of place because it's not their place a certain type of way, because their habitation. Sometimes things happen natural, sometimes it happens and one has to notice it before it gets out of hand. Now, if my wife is having wild emotions because, say, she did some magic, and then her magic connected to individuals that wasn't of high intellect, there's individuals that just wanted to demoralize the individual. This is why I stopped lounging with individuals, because the people that I was around was already of dark matter. Then on top of it, I'm a man of natural value. These individuals are going to demoralize individuals to the intricacies of their value, of their pocket, and then devalue them. This is what happened when I was Duvalier, because I noticed the natural habitation didn't want an emperor, and they were just devaluing the economic system because they didn't understand the natural conduct of one's social reality. So when I noticed that they didn't, all they wanted to do was just live a certain type of way, and that they would have just took advantage of individuals through time, I just went my own way, because this is certain things of their natural habitation, even concerning their natural astrological empress, because she's keeping them in order when it comes to her value, and then when it comes to the receptiveness of one's value, and also of the things that she was doing a certain type of way through time, because her martial arts was that fierce. Now, I'm the one that made the martial arts, martial arts educated, but the thing about the situation was I made the astrological empress. Now, at the places in Haiti, I did educate Mushu, because I'm the one that made the astrological empress of Mushu. But she didn't realize the danger she was in, because the fact is, when they turned against me, even though her martial arts was so precise, and they honored her because they were the astrological empress and the reason of the magic, they were gonna devalue her. They were gonna turn against her, because they didn't realize that I was the one that made her, and I was her consciousness. So even though they acted like they respected her and like they cared about her, they showed me the reality of their consciousness, not knowing that I was the literal head of the whole calendar, and the calendars above, all the calendars above them. So when they did that, I just knew instantly to be smart, and just to remove myself from the equation of their habitation, because I knew that it would have ended up in a bad situation if my wife was around them, because those are individuals that would end up killing her, demoralizing her, and causing her downfall. Now, then you had the lower calendar also, because a person wonders, she didn't wondered why I did certain things a certain way, and why I used to be certain other places, used to hang out, and the people used to be, oh, you over there, so, and I used to go in it, a certain type of way, but I knew certain things, so this is why I moved around a certain type of way. And when I seen it was getting too dangerous at a point, remember, I'm a star being, because naturally, when I made all the calendars, all astrological, all beyond highest, quantum, mega, super, astrological, celestial, and celestial inner points of enlightenment, or star class astrology, constellations, sacred. So when I made all this, I was always moving around at different points. So because my wife and the conduct of different wives that are separated at the time for their manifestation, for their sacredcy, when the times of their magic, of their habitation, starts alluring to the reality, and it's time for certain things to happen in sequence. I'm the only one that really knew what was going on, because I'm the only one that could really see what was going on. Nobody else could. So even though I'm supposed to be, they put me like this, there's a person that really tried to end it. The people that have me not seeing certain things are people that, if they continue going on like that, that's the people that's really going to end the world. That means something's wrong with the social economic bunch or the group I would be around at the time. So now I'm just going to show you just like this. Individuals, I mean, on a level of physics also. So I'm just gonna be real with you. So if you're looking at individuals in life, and then you have individuals of high intellect, and then you have individuals that demoralizes one high intellect, even in their natural conduct, in their vibrational patterns, that's a person that'll cause the end of the reality. Because how would you be in, say for instance, we're on a high peak of altitude, longitude, and latitude on a planet somewhere, right? And then you have a person supposed to be thinking of hyenity, or and before they start dealing with forms of humanity a certain type of way, because the cleansing of the reality of the purity of the one's acknowledgement. If you have individuals naturally of one low altitude, like low habitation, that would demoralize the natural elements, or the natural element of the chemistry of the natural element of nature, then that means something's wrong. It's like having a dog in a high point of snow. The dog can't shit on a mountain, because it has to have preparation for something like that. Now, if the dog shit on the mountain and you climbing the mountain, it's gonna end up making you slip and fall. So if the dog's shitting in places where it's supposed to be cleansing, where people receive refresh, is something wrong. It's just like when you see the penguins that go in the water. People that do shit like that, those are people that doesn't care about natural habitation. Those are people that's looking to demoralize people a certain type of way, and and and, and they just doing certain magic, and they just going in the water doing fucked up things, disrespecting people at a high point. When shit like that happens, you gotta notice these are people that's already insulting certain habitations, even of the ice galaxy, and even certain habitations of value. And then on top of it, if they're learning other forms of other things, their natural conduct might be demoralizing a certain type of way, and a person not realize until it gets too vital to a situation, and then it'll become too much for an individual, and then things will happen a certain type of way. So you gotta be careful the way certain things are conducted in a person's reality, because something that looks so simple could be more than what you think, and the next thing you know, you be real fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be very careful with the type of people that an individual is around at the time, because another person ain't gonna tell you what's really going on with an individual's habitation. It's just like a person of high altitude or high longitude. If they don't realize the habitation to their chemistry when it comes to the natural celestial earth, then they'll be fucked up. And then another person's not gonna realize certain other things, because it's a level of physics a certain type of way. Now, if a person has me at a low level, and I'm telling you all this naturally, obviously I'm supposed to be and surpass the highest level, but I always go around a certain type of way. When I mean go around, I mean like go up and down, like in and out a certain type of way, because of the reality of certain other things. But if you have other people that doesn't know what's going on, they'll try to jeopardize and risk my life, and because they just want power and they just don't care. And I don't feel like getting into the physical, showing you the reason of discipline. I don't feel like doing that with people right now, because we're in 2019. If I have to do that with people, that means the people I'm gonna go discipline is the people that I already had in charge, because they should already knew for these things not to happen. Now, I'm a person that's very polite, and I'm a person that's very upfront. A person might say that might be, they may think that's a downfall. You're right, it's a downfall. Because if you feeling up there, it would be a downfall. Either way you look at it now. So I don't want to be, I'm just being intellectual with an individual a certain type of way. I'm not trying to be a certain type of way with an individual, because an individual, the individuals in the next room is kind of jealous of me a certain type of way, and then they don't realize their natural habitation of certain other things. So their mentality, just like I made the video speaking to my wife, their mentality of individuals is demoralizing. I shouldn't be around ignorance a certain type of way. So if they're hanging out with individuals, it's seeming like fun to be ignorant. It's not fun to be ignorant, because you're gonna get killed. Because a person's not gonna tell you they're just leading you away to kill you. If they're telling you to follow your physics for certain things, that might be even your empress. You ever had a chick that's so vindictive when it comes to spirituality, and then she sees a person manifesting, and she been doing certain things longer, but she's waiting for the person to do something precise and right, and then the person seems like they're indulging in other things they're not supposed to be indulging at a time, and then they're already being aggravated because of the type of level that they're on and things that's going on in the real habitation and the condition, and then they do something stupid, and that person looks at that person and says, all right, yeah, why don't you go over there? You know what I'm saying? And then certain things start happening, and they start wondering, oh, this, and then the person tells you, oh, you want to be down. Oh, and then that person's noticing that person's going to cause a downfall. So they got to think about the magic and everything that's being done, because if you have a chick that knows something and she wants to be more than another individual, then she has the real situation around her. Then she's going to say, something has to happen so serious that it can't take time with certain individuals. This has to happen instantly when they're reality, because when it comes to discipline. Now, this is what happens when you have natural structure and then the wrong person learns a form of education of other individuals. Now, I'm the right person. They're supposed to know the education, but you might have had wrong people that knew certain forms of education that weren't supposed to, and then now you see the reality of the reason why this called civilness, civil wars that lead up to wars or world wars. I'm not trying to cause a type of situation. Another person, the individual next to me in the next room is trying to cause a certain type of habitation of acknowledgement, because this is the way they get off, or they feel they cause individuals to go. They cause individuals to go. How can I say, deter individuals a certain type of way. A person that goes astray is a difference. A person that's of high acknowledgement of a certain type of way that might go different from an individual. You got to know the reasons of certain things. But then you have an individual of deter individuals that cause the natural deterrence, and that causes a natural confusion in conduct, and then certain things happen. It's not confusion a certain type of way, because there's fusion and then there's confusion. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about certain other things type of way, because another person is just looking to demoralize an individual, so it's caused confusion. This is what the other individuals cause in the physical reality. There's a difference, because I'm putting your intellect back into the order it's supposed to be in. So, I'm just going to say just like this. I don't really care about other individuals. I don't really care about certain other people looking for excuses. I don't really care about other people that came up with a master plan and just want to hear me speak about certain things in a form of receptiveness. And they know that when I'm feeling certain emotions, I'm going to speak about the clarity, things that they didn't even know about, but what they were trying to figure out on their physics, they're just trying to see the receptiveness of it. It's just like what I was telling you with the natural elements. A person's looking for what the frequency was showing them, and I already know it naturally, so I'm not going to tell an individual, but I'm just going to tell my wife this. Be careful of individuals that have animals in high altitudes or high points of reality, especially when it comes to natural habitation of social economics, because those are people that's going to cause a form of demoralization. If you already have a person of a point of enlightenment dealing with a habit a certain type of way in a high conduct, they're already going to cause a certain type of situation in the physical reality naturally. If that person, if that situation has happened a certain type of way instantly, then that person already is going to get at somebody. So there's no type of situation a certain type of way. It's just like when I used to have certain things, it used to be at a distance, and I used to even deal my situation at a certain point. After a certain time level, I don't have to be a certain type of way with a situation, because the situation is supposed to already know how to conduct itself around me. Now, if something's happening another type of way, that's why it's like being in a circus. You ever see the trained animals in the circus? The animals that surround me are supposed to know how to be trained and know about the habitation. They act wild, they get got. That's it. You know? There's nothing else. So I'm just gonna be real with you. And I don't believe in cannibalism, and I don't believe in carnivalism. So another person is like, you really doing it to yourself when certain things happen with a certain individual. So I'm already know precisely how I'm supposed to be conducting myself. Certain things happen a certain type of way. That means another person's really doing it to themselves. That has nothing to do with me. So I'm just gonna be real. I tell my wife, be careful of other individuals already trying to demoralize you or positioning themselves around you in a paradigm of physics like they're going to demoralize you and then fuck you up. It's just like if you have a dog shitting on elements all day, it doesn't care for the light anatomy. If you have a natural dog shitting on elements all day, even of light anatomy, it doesn't care for its own habitation. That's a dog already on his way out. Then if you have a dog of a certain type of anatomy that's shitting on elements, I guess, listen, man, like I said, I'm not into no gangster activity. I'm not into no clockwork. Some individuals be on some next gang banging. Yet, I don't do none of that type of situation. But I'm gonna just tell you just like this. You know, if another person's watching your pockets, then too bad for you. Because another person ain't gonna tell you when it's gonna happen because something with them is natural. Especially, it's just like reflecting on value. It's like a person having a gold chain that's not supposed to have. I have a gold chain. I'm supposed to be wearing gold. I'm supposed to be wearing diamonds. But you have another person out there that's wearing a gold chain, diamonds, and things they're not supposed to have. And then they're just fucking up the quality, even of the depth of the element, and causing individuals to cause confusion. And then when individuals find them at a point, things really happen in the physical reality because they know that person's not doing the right conduct and something about it is making it happen a certain type of way. And then on top of it, you don't know the reason of the. Let me not even get too much into it. Good for you. I'm gonna tell my wife just like this. I don't care about things like that because I'm a man of natural high quality. So I'm gonna always have certain things a certain type of way. The thing is, another person doesn't want a person to have it because they will cause a form of entrapment. So it's gonna even reflect on the level of physics and the physical reality. It's just like yesterday when I was watching the television and the snake bit the guy. I was about to make this recording. Look at today. I'm making a recording, but they're killing individuals of the natives because they want an individual to be demoralized because they already have plans for individuals certain type of way and they don't care about other individuals' habitation. So they were already getting at a person in physics. So they will manipulate the situation and they put it in a form of light because they want to get at an individual because of certain things that's happening and the person's being vindictive and doesn't care about the situation and natural conduct or current reality is happening a certain type of way. So it's just a person adding up their mathematics like just in case of a war. And then on top of it, the individual that's doing it is an individual right next to me in the next room. So, I'm just gonna be real. I don't give a fuck what's another person's situation. When situations happen, don't say I didn't say nothing. That's it. Because another person ain't gonna wait to do something to an individual a certain type of way. It's just like you ever had a pussy person, a person that's a coward or pussy that doesn't really care and they just scared automatically. What you think is gonna happen because they're not supposed to be doing certain things. So when the person that's supposed to be doing it, that knows what's going on and they're doing the wrong, they don't want to be disciplined at a certain time. So a person, if you having people that's living like desperados, this is where the government fucked up. You had other people living like desperados, things that they weren't supposed to have, and then they were already messing up the intellect of the intent. And then they wanted to be a point of the outtent. That's why they couldn't. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna speak about it. You learn your physics, too bad, man. Love one, man. I tell my wife, don't end up a hooker, a escort bitch, because you're wild animals and you're individuals that just want to be around wild animals at certain points of reality, and then dealing with you. It's just like Players Club. They have to walk around with the fucking German Shepherd all day just to want to rape your ass when they fucking got to their fucking hotel. Something? Another person wanted to make something happen so much in physics. Look at this. That is a form of entrapment. I was supposed to be in an apartment, and then look at this. Too much fun for another individual. So one social economic system that calculated or what they want to do to individuals at a certain time. You think about it. And if it's brimstone, these people around me, I think these are the ones that probably even tried to rape Christ's mother back in the days. But you have to find out for yourself. Another person's doing something, looking at it. It's like coming home to my wife a certain type of way, watching certain things happen to my wife, and then just another person's looking to fuck up immaculate conception. This is basically what is really going on. And I already made the videos. Too bad if you didn't hear my YouTubes. Probably's your scumbag social economic system of people that's trying to do fucked up politics. If you heard him, if you heard me, but if you heard them, my videos that I made, I don't know I already told you. If you're looking around things that's happening,